we know historically there have been a caliphate or whatever you'd like to call it. There have been Islamic communities. The overarching culture, not that Islam is a culture, it's a religion. It was a theocratic society, and there were also Jews within the society, non-believers and pagans, and the Muslims allowed them to exist, but the Muslims still dictated overall what is permissible within the society. They said, we have a way, this is our way. You don't have to do everything we do, but we will prohibit some things that you cannot do. Right? There are things you cannot do within the society. You don't have to pray. You don't have to fast, but you cannot steal. We will prohibit things. I say that to say this. With regards to when people are like, well, who are you to tell us what not to do? I'm one of the few who will stand up and say what is right and try to enforce it because no one else will. I don't want to have to tell you that it's bad to backbite. I don't want to have to tell you that. I think you should already know it, but you don't.
I agree.
Right. And the reason I know IQ is too low is because some people were in there in the chat like, backbiting. He is like, listen, you cannot defend backbiting. Him saying that he wants a woman to lick his backside, you cannot defend that. The moment people try to defend these things, I know that the world is lost, and that's precisely why I'm so staunch in what I stand for. And on the side of the Muslims, inshallah, they'll get it together and we'll see some good leadership. But I see a lot of weaklings. There's some great scholars that I respect. There's one who's becoming more prominent on TikTok. I forget his name at the moment, my buddy in Jordan that put me on. But at the end of the day, there's so many things that are lost in Islam. And you mentioned the Quran. The Quran is written so beautifully in that there is, if you're intelligent and honest, there is a surah for everything you need a surah for. But right now we're in times of jihad, and there are various forms of jihad, right? Internal struggle within yourself, struggling against your own desire, your own narcissism, your own greed, your own fill in the blank. Then there's external jihad when the ummah is under attack. It's specifically mentioned, but no one wants to engage in jihad, internal or external. So if we're all faking, I mean, what's the point? And so my great effort is to have people be serious about what we do. That's why I say assassin or nothing. It's like no one's on the fence. It's like either you're with it or you're not with it. And the truth is, when things become even more dire, we'll find out the importance of being with it and not being with it, because our society suffers when good men don't take the actions that good men must take. And that's a problem. They sit on the sideline.
And I also want to say to your audience as well, like, in terms of like, I'm sure people like who also know how to read people can sense like your honesty and your passion about certain topics and certain things like that. But I also want to speak to when you bring up combat sports and things of that nature, even though you're not a professional athlete. I personally am a kickboxer, so like I know
professional kickboxer.
Yes, semi-pro. I can't say fully professional yet.
That's good.
You see me still working in this hospital, so
I hear you. I'm
not pro yet.
Yeah,
but yeah, I appreciate somebody who actually understands the game, whether or not they're a professional or not. And I hate when people in the comments say you have to be a certain level of actually being in the ring to commentate on it. That would make zero sense. There would be no Skip Bayless. There would be no Stephen A. Smith, who are literally better than most of the people who actually have stepped in the ring. So like we need people like you who have high credentials in education and things like that, who can speak to these things and bring attention to the art of this combat sports, things of that nature. So I appreciate you.
And I still yield, let it be known, I still yield if someone has, like, for example, Jake Shields will probably be coming by the studio. I'm going to help him get some things going. Yeah, but I yield to someone like that because they are well above me in hierarchy. And that's the important thing to know. Like, I yield to you in that regard, because I know that there are so many levels to that game and so many levels of pain that I've not experienced and I'm not embracing. That if there's a discussion, I need to be silent and let you talk. And then if there's something to add, maybe I add something. Maybe.
Same way I am with you with geopolitics. That's how I first started getting into your content, because I like the geopolitics and things of that nature. And when I saw what you went to school for and things of that nature, so I was like, I took the deep dive after I saw the you and Destiny debate. You started frying them. I hate Destiny, but I'm sure you know why. And yeah, that's when I started getting to your content. I think you out here doing the Lord's work, man.
I really appreciate that, and thank you so much for the compliments, because I think I don't really think it's like normal people. It's probably just like a bunch of haters, but there's always people who don't know, or they're new, or they're neutral, and they think that I might come on and like with the goal of like, oh, I want to be famous or fill in the blank. It's like, no, I'm actually like legitimately funny. If I wanted to be famous, I'll probably just stick with actual acting and comedy. Like I would organize stand-up comedy and go on tour and become legitimately famous. Like if that was my actual goal. But when people hear me talk, I hope they notice, like if I start on a topic, like I have a specific outcome I want for you sitting watching me. Like when I talked about that other thing, I was talking about backbiting, I specifically want you guys to think every time you have it might cross your mind to say something like foul about somebody. If they're not there, be silent. And even if they are there and it does not achieve anything, like think before you speak. Like I want you guys to actually do that. Like that's a deep value of mine. And that's one of the beautiful things about the discussion with that guy and his audience is that it showed just a world of difference. It was such a like a vast difference, and they couldn't even comprehend my side, which I was like, damn, we're they are not like us, and that's important. No,
Actual. Thank you, man.
hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. I'll be back in the live chat soon, donating on your next one.
All right, peace of saints.
Peace.
Lorenzo said Jake Shields is a racist. I listen. He might be. I don't know. I don't know.